Hey guys, it's Emily, and today I'm going to do a book talk for Chopsticks by Jessica Anthony and Rodrigo Corral. I read this last night in one sitting and I just checked it out at the library. It's been on my to-read list for a year now. A year and 10 days I checked that and I saw it after I reviewed it on Goodreads. I love this book. I really enjoyed this. This was so different and it caught my eye because I love art, and Rodrigo Corral is actually a book cover designer, and he designed this cover and it's really pretty. But he designs book cover. The Fault in Our Stars and the new cover for Looking for Alaska. I love his style, the handwriting, and it's just beautiful. I love it, and I love how he did the smoke on this cover, the candle. He designs some great covers, and he's designed plenty of other covers, especially for some award-winning books. That's mainly why I wanted to read this book. I am so glad that I finally did. I went to the library yesterday and I just found it on a shelf in the YA section, and I was like, oh my gosh, I need to check this out because I knew I could just read it in one sitting and it would be a fast read, something that can inspire me and something that I would really enjoy. It's about a female piano prodigy who is going through having lost her mother, just living with her dad. So she faces these like struggles and things like that. Her name is Glory. She retreated to music after her mother died. That is how she kind of coped with things. She becomes this like famous pianist. She finds love with this boy Frank, and he's an artist. It's made up of photographs, and it's really just amazing. If you love art and you love photography, there's a lot of great photography in here. Something I really loved at the beginning was the photography like this. It's just so pretty. The photographers were Samantha Casallari, and Frederick Schmidt. I love the photography in this book. If you are a fan of photography and just any art in general, this whole book, any book is art really. You should definitely check this book out because it is amazing. And you interpret, there's like some text and things, there's like documents and cards, and then newspaper articles too. So there is a little bit of reading in it, and it is very interesting to kind of like find out what this is about, like how the story is going to play out, because that's basically all it is. It's a bunch of pictures and letters from schools, wine ads and things like that, postcards. It's just a beautiful story. So if you haven't read this yet, I would recommend you go pick it up, and you can check it out at the library, but it is a very fast read, and if you are not sure if you're going to like it or if you want to own it, it's a good idea to just check it out. It is very interesting. Anyway, I'm going to go on and talk more about the ending and all the stuff. More details that will be spoilers if you stick around and you haven't read this yet. So please come back after you've read it and you want to discuss, and we can discuss. Bye to those who haven't read it yet. And for those that have, let's talk about this because it is like on my mind. I stayed up so late last night, and sorry if you could hear an ice cream truck. There's one outside somewhere. But anyway, this has been on my mind, and I stayed up really late reading this. I thought when I saw this and when I heard about it, I thought it was going to be about a love story between two teenagers. I thought that for most of this book, except for near the middle. You kind of like, I kind of got confused because of things that I noticed that were a little off. I looked at the Goodreads reviews and I saw Jess from Price is Wrong. She has a really good review on it, and she mentions how it turns into like this, it's a psychological story. Glory lost her mom, and it could have really affected her mentally. Glory is in this facility. She paints this flower. There's a picture of her painting the flower, but I just can't find it. So you pretty much find out that Glory's been doing all of this art. There is no Frank. She's in the facility doing art because they have arts and crafts stuff there. They tell you to bring arts and crafts. It says it in the letter. She's painting this flower, and earlier we see it. Frank sold it, and it's supposed to be his flower. But it's not, because She painted it. She's been doing all of this art. Every piece of art you see in this book is hers. It wasn't his. He's not even real because she made him up in her mind. Like, it's kind of heartbreaking. It's so sad because she has this romance, this boyfriend made up in her mind, and she's really just going through a rough patch in her life. Like, her mental state isn't clear. And one of my favorite parts of this book, even though it's like such a sad ending, after you find out what's really going on, is it shows all this travel stuff that says entertaining seas, travel the world for your work, and it says all we need is the slightest kiss of the wind. Oh my gosh. She got him from this bottle of wine called Francisco de Mendoza, Argentina. So she's like, she made up this character, this person in her head, and I think that's really sad. It is made clear when it showed all of the artwork on the walls. Like, it made me go back and look because I caught it that things had her signature on it when before they had his. So in a way they're kind of helping us out in the pictures to show us that this was really all her work. All the artwork on the walls. I was thinking that maybe she sent him some artwork from the facility. She did all of this. It has her signatures on it now. It says G. Fleming, and I think that's so haunting. The artwork in this reminds me of like the 2010s, especially the photography does, but the story takes place from the 1990s to the early 2000s, and I think that's very interesting because the art just looks like today, you know? The photography looks like today. Yeah, I had to like flip back some pages every few like chapters. A lot of the time I didn't even notice when a chapter started because it's kind of hidden in the pictures, and I think that's really cool. I found myself having to look back and like, you know, double check things and stuff like that. It was a very interesting story and I was very engaged in the photographs. It really made me want to understand everything and want to overanalyze. The ending just caught me. Like, it was like it was just like a plot twist. Probably the biggest plot twist I have ever experienced because I didn't catch it at first until like near the end that he wasn't real. I thought it was really sweet when it points out that that Chopsticks, its chords F and G, they come closer together and farther apart as you play. That's how the relationship was in the story. They were coming closer and farther and closer and farther, and they just kept getting pulled apart. So it was very interesting how like Chopsticks comes into it. I was really wondering like, why is she always playing Chopsticks? I didn't really know why until they said that. It turned into like this psychological like story about this girl who's struggling with her mother's death, and she has to go to this facility and she's doing artwork and she makes up this person in her mind, and I just did not expect that at all. It was like, it makes me want to cry. Like, seriously, it was just so good and it's a beautiful story. It's kind of genius. I don't even know. This book is genius. It really makes me think, and I love when books do that because I actually feel like I read it. Like, I feel like I read the story, and I've read so many stories that had plot twists like this, and I just love those stories so much. So this is definitely one of those stories. It's going on to that list. But anyway, I gave this 4.5 out of 5 stars on Goodreads, and you can check out my Goodreads review below. It's kind of similar to this. I just wanted to make this a video because more people on BookTube should check this book out. And I think that would be awesome if it got more, like, you know, if it got more discussion on BookTube. So yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will be back with another one soon. Bye! Of course, there's no art when I'm trying to show art. I want to open the window because it's hot in here. There's an ice cream truck outside. Yeah? I could hear the outdoors. Hey guys, today I'm going to be, whoa, that was different.